Hello, Waddles Park staff. Well, it's the Sunday before the first day of school, and I'm just like you, probably trying to enjoy some relaxing time as we begin our active time with our students showing up tomorrow. So, I wanted to do a video message, and I'm going to do more of these this year, just kind of as the newsletter part, a video newsletter. I think it's helpful, and you'll also be able to perhaps listen to these things like on the way to work and things like that. So, just to share a few things, I will be glancing over to my computer, make sure I have everything. So, um, we are we've changed our arrival and dismissal procedures, and I'm sending an email out today, right after I get this video posted. In That will detail the places where people go. Um, so I'll start with arrival. I've got a visitor here. My cat's jumping up on me. Um, Shelby and Rachel will still be at the playground gate. Amanda will be at the patio door. Nada, this is a change. She will be at the main door for arrival. And then Esther won't be available because she'll be doing childcare at Sonoma in the mornings and the afternoons. So she's going to arrive late and leave early, so she can do that for us. And then um, myself and Deb will be outside with the buses, and then Gail, Paul, and Heather are going to fill in for Esther at the end door for fourth grade to let the fourth graders in. Dismissal duty, this is probably has the most changes because our group that got together to talk about safety procedures and things like that decided we needed to change how we're dismissing bus students. So K1 teachers will be responsible at the playground gate to get their kids matched up with parents. So you'll need to stay with your kids until they've been retrieved by their parents. If by chance they are still there at 3:45ish, if the parents haven't picked them up by then you can bring your kids to the office. Um, we are going to have aides and teachers staying with the kids that are going to buses for kindergarten and first grade. So if kids ride a bus, they're going to stay in their classroom until an all call goes over that says that those students, for instance, if they ride bus E, those students would be released from their classrooms and they would walk out the front door and go to their buses. But they're going to stay in the classroom until buses have arrived. Um, so assignments are as follows. So Shelby will be in Mrs. Hiles' class at the end of the day. So you should arrive there maybe just before 3:30 because kindergarten's going to try to excuse right at 3:30 for their car riders. Amanda to Thompson, Rachel to Baldwin, Nada to Shipley. Normally Esther would go to Campbell, but we're going to have Nicole Parada fill in for her until we can get childcare squared away at Sonoma. So Nicole, you would go to Campbell, and then Heather Kotz would go to Hammond. And then second through fourth grade teachers would kind of excuse their own students for the buses. And then, of course, Deb and I will be outside for bus duty, managing that. And then Gail, Paul, Nicole, when she's not subbing, Angela, and Sherry, our virtual teachers, will kind of have hallway monitoring and duty. And then you will also be kind of backups if we had an aide that was absent or something like that. You might be a backup to go to a classroom to help out. It's all hands on deck, right now, so we can be safe. All right. So a couple other things. So tomorrow for attendance, if you would please take attendance as soon as you can in the morning. I know some things were up in the air with Power School when we left on Friday, so I'm not sure how that will look. I know that Gail's been working over the weekend to make it all right. But Jill is asking for you to either take attendance in Power School right away or send a note. But remember, you can't send notes with students like normal. The students have to stay in their classroom. So if you can't find an aide or another adult to take it down, then call the office and Deb, I, or somebody else will get down and get that note from you. And then check with each child at the beginning of the day to make sure you know their after school plan. If there's any question, please contact Jill in the office or send a note by 10 a.m. so Jill has enough time. Usually there's a lots of kids that don't know their after school plan, especially the younger ones. And so if you're unsure at this point, then please call Jill so she can make calls to parents to get that all squared away. Mask policy. Now, I know we've talked about this a lot, but I just want to make sure we're all on the same page with mask policy. So teachers should be teaching and modeling proper mask wear. So you need to teach kids how to wear it over their nose, and teachers should be modeling that same behavior. All staff should be modeling that. And then we all know that students are going to be wearing masks all the time now, except during mask breaks, which mask breaks are provided by at the teacher's discretion. And you can do that outdoors or you can do it inside the classroom. But when you do it in the classroom, there has to be social distancing, strict social distancing during that mask break. So, and that includes teachers too. You may need to take a mask break at times, and I would say do it with your kids. But just kind of as a rule, you teach your kids that when we do these, that we're not around each other, type of thing. We take our mask breaks when we're separated. And then the mask during recess procedure has been revised a little bit. Our team that was working last week revised that. So we're going to ask K2 families to label their mask, label the kid's mask. A Sharpie with the name written on the inside or a label on the loop is what's been suggested. And then we think that 3rd and 4th grade students should be able to secure their own mask if they want to write with Sharpies on them too. We certainly would recommend that. So mask should be secured by the student. So I know we were talking about having places to hang them, but we're going to go with now, and we're going to try this, is we're going to ask students to secure their own mask, because there may be times in the playground when they're playing closely with other friends that they may need to put their mask back on. So my recommendation is, one, have the students put their mask in their pocket. So we'll have to teach this before the first recess tomorrow. If they don't have a pocket, then maybe a mask. I know kids are going to come with breakaway lanyards and things like that, so that would be an option. And then I think the last option, if they don't have any good option, is just to slide the earpieces around students' wrists, and then they just keep them on their wrists during recess time. That way they're with them, and they keep it right with them, and then they can put it on when they need to. And of course, if kids don't have masks, we will supply masks. Now, I want to tell all staff, we're going to give grace to kids, during our initial, first week, second week, because we're going to have kids that are not going to have the stamina to wear masks, all the time. It's hard for adults, and we know it's going to be hard for kids. And we have some kids in our building that, that have asthma issues and things that maybe you don't know that are happening with them. And we've got a few calls from parents that they made the choice to go face-to-face based on the kids not having to wear masks all the time. And we don't have room to move kids to virtual now, so it's put a few of our parents in predicaments because their kids have asthma and they're concerned with them even being able to function at school having to wear masks all the time. So we're going to give a lot of grace. We've asked those parents to, talk to their children about wearing the mask as much as possible, but we as adults are going to be sensitive to that tomorrow, and make sure that if kids need to step out of the classroom and take their mask off, and if they're having trouble breathing at all, then just be sensitive to that and provide them opportunity to take that mask off and take a breather. If it's 15 minutes every hour, then so be it. We just need to make sure we're caring for the health and safety of our kids. All right, so and another change is the inside recess locations. Weather's supposed to be beautiful tomorrow, but there's a chance of rain the rest of the week. So just in case, so inside recesses, we decided as a team that we weren't going to combine two classes into the gymnasium. So if you're a red day, if your recess is on a red day, it's going to be gymnasium. If you are on a white day, your students are going to stay in the classroom, or during the cleaning portion, they are going to go to the hallway outside your classroom while it's being cleaned. And then the third blue option, if it's a blue day for you, then the cafeteria will be where your students will go for inside recess. And then I think all of you know that we do have the playground divided into red, white, and blue areas. So talk to your kids in the morning about that procedure. With the email that will be coming to you associated with this video, there's also a place for you to vote for staff meeting times. That's something we didn't get to at our first staff meeting, is voting for staff. With the change in schedule and planning, I want to be sensitive to that. So I've given, I think it's 4 or 5 different options for staff meeting times. I just need your input, and we're going to go with majority rules on the time. So take that vote. There's a link in the email. Take that vote as a quick form, and then I'm asking you to take that by this Thursday by 9 a.m. And then I will, once the vote is in and we find out what time has been selected, then I will send out invites to everyone to let you know. And we will do those for the most part virtually. So keep that in mind too when you're voting. We'll be doing those virtually. All right, this Thursday is Picture Day. We moved it up. Traditionally, we do Picture Day on Count Day, but we didn't want to take any chances of us all being virtual when we got to Count Day, so we've moved it up to this Thursday. Craft will have 2 photographers. We're gonna plan on the gymnasium, taking pictures in the gymnasium. If it happens to be a rain day, though, we're going to switch pictures to the cafeteria. Childcare will move to the library, and then we may have to do if your class was supposed to do inside recess on that day, then they will stay in their classroom. So we'll just have to make adjustments. Remember, the theme this year is not only being strong and courageous, but also flexible. So we'll do that. All right, and then just finishing this video up is you'll also see on the emails that I send out, I'll have calendar items on there. There's not very much right now, but as we get into the year, you know that the calendar gets pretty long. So I encourage you to listen or watch this video, but also go to the email for particular things, like, for instance, you have to vote and things. And I won't mention everything every week, but I encourage you to look through that email also. All right, well, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.